There's my boy Virgil. He wants to ask y'all to do something.
Press the subscribe button and the notifications bell right below this video.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. Please subscribe, like, and share. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Another wonderful day in the Philippines. I know a lot of people got a lot of questions, especially those that are retired and have Social Security only. Now, if you're on Social Security, if you got disabled Social Security or a regular retirement, you will have no problem. Now, if you got SSI, it's my understanding that if you're out of the country for 30 days or more, you might lose your income. You might want to check with your local Social Security office to make sure that I am correct. But that's my understanding. Now, if you plan on living here permanently and you are on disabled or regular Social Security and you have no other assets besides that, you can do as I did if it's something you desire to do and you are sure you're going to live here. Now, I have my Social Security direct deposit here in the Philippines. I'll tell you the bank I use. Most banks will do the same, but I chose BPI for one reason. I can travel island to island, and I can do over-the-counter transactions. In other words, if I need to change my dollars to pesos, I have no problem. And that way it eliminates me from going to the bank so often. I only go one time a month. Now, if you're on Social Security, you will go to the bank in person and do it. That's a security measure agreed upon between Social Security and the Philippine banks. That's to make sure no one collects your Social Security after you're done gone. 3 years, come on. I don't know if it ever happened, but maybe it did. But anyway, there is a fee for that, and that is done in the United States. It's a transfer fee, and it's $7. And I've noticed a difference in my income and what I actually get here in dollars, which is not bad. It takes all the hassle out, and I don't have to. I can deal directly here in the Philippines instead of having to deal with it in the United States. Being this far away, with the time difference, it's difficult. So it's an easy asset for me. I don't know if that'll work for you or not, but I'm telling you what works for me. I don't have any assets in the States. I don't have any property or anything to fall back on. So it's the best choice for me. It works great. I go and change my dollars once a month. Now, here it's on in most cases it'll be on the 4th instead of the 3rd because we are actually 12 hours in advance. Takes a little getting used to. And I just go in and I change all my dollars to pesos and put it into a peso account, which I have a debit card. So I don't have to carry all that cash around. You don't want to do that. That makes it very convenient. And as I said before, I chose BPI because they have the most branches nationwide. And I knew I was going to be moving around. And it has worked out great for me. Now, the other banks, there are a couple that require you to go back to your original branch that you opened the account. And some even charge fees between branches. So it's best you do a little research before you actually open an account. Now, with the BPI account, I can have zero balance. Now, some require a balance. So I like the idea of having zero balance. I just go in and change it all over. And I have zero balance. So, and I have it all in pesos. You can't, and I get a decent exchange rate. Give you an example. The other day, Monday, we went in. The rate was 52.9, just a little over that. And I got 52 almost 8. So it's a very small difference. It's not worth the hassle running around trying to get an extra 50 or 60 pesos or whatever it works out to be. It's not driving everywhere around. You're going to spend all that extra money you think you're going to get for a small difference. So it works out great. So if you're wondering if Social Security works here, yes, it does. And again, if you plan on living here permanently, that might be an ideal that you want to do. Now, it's not a hard thing to do to open an account. They do require 2 IDs. They prefer an ACR card. That's an alien registration card, or ACR card, whatever. And your passport. And it's a lot of little paperwork plus 2 by 2 pictures and so forth. No, it's 1 by 1. I forgot. And they make you sign a little signature card, I think 6 times or something like that, in order to verify your signature. And it's actually not that big of a deal. It just takes a little. It's time consuming. And it's just a way. It's a security measure, to protect them and you. Now you'll find banking here is a little different than what you're accustomed to. Now, if you plan on coming here, I have a word of advice. Especially if you're going to use a debit card, whatever, from Social Security. I advise you to at least let them know that you're going to be in the Philippines. And if you're going to be here a while, you might want to do a change of address. Upon when you decide to do your direct deposit here. You can do that through the embassy here in the Philippines. They do have a branch that covers Social Security. I did mine online. I had no problem doing the change of address and so forth. Matter of fact, I've done it several times because I've moved around. And of course now I don't move around anymore. I built a house here, so I don't have to deal with it anymore. And I'm having my coffee. I had a comment on one of my videos about coffee. How would I be without coffee? I'll be honest with you. When I don't have my coffee, it's like having a hangover. But anyway, back to Social Security. You won't have any issues if you just take your time and follow a few guidelines. Now, I recommend if you're going to be here permanently, and you decide that's what you want to do, must make you aware your medical Part B is useless. Now, some will like to keep it in case they will go back to the U.S. and need medical attention. Personally, I elected to opt out. That's $140 a month. Now, medical insurance here, it's available. Some of it's affordable, some of it's not. And keep in mind that the hospitals here will require payment before you can get out. They need to be paid full. Now that applies mostly to the private hospitals, and especially if it's a private room. You will pay before you get out. I've experienced being in a hospital. My insurance that I have here at the time, it was PhilHealth. And they paid a considerable amount on my hospital bill. I think I ended up paying about $300 for a week in the hospital. And plus I had to pay for most of my meds, which is probably, I think was around another $100, $150, something like that. I had dengue, if you want to know what it was. And I was surprised at how much PhilHealth paid. Of course, at that time, that's before PhilHealth made changes. But I think with dengue or something like that, it's about the same. Now, if you got something major, heart attack, cancer, whatever, it don't pay so much. Not anymore. So keep that in mind. But again, if you got insurance, they expect you in most cases to pay up front and you collect from the insurance. Very few insurances pay directly to the hospital, and most hospitals are limited to who they will accept. You can do some research on that. I haven't done any research on it. I don't know which insurance companies to tell you, advise you on that is compatible with the hospitals. I have no clue. Now, doctor visits here are reasonable. You can go to the doctor. In most cases, you'll pay anywhere from 300 to 400 pesos. In most cases, for a general practitioner. I've got I can't remember her name, a very good doctor. Grace and I both go to her. And I really like her. I do have a high blood pressure problem. And it's under control. It stays pretty close to normal most of the time. And the doctor has kept a close monitor until she got it stabilized. Yeah, which, that's understandable. I had to make several visits, follow-ups, and we got it under control. My medicine is affordable. I think it ended up costing me, I think, 500 or 600 pesos a month, something like that, about $12 to $15 a month. Now, not all medicines are that affordable here. Keep that in mind, too. Now, if you do have health issues, I don't know if it'd be a wise idea for you to come. Because, it's going to be expensive if you need constant medical care. I've been very lucky. I have, as I told you, health issue with blood pressure. But other than that, I'm okay, except for I had a broken back, and there's no pain medication that really controls it, so I don't want the pain meds no way. Because the only thing pain meds are good for is getting a habit of it. I prefer just trying to use my mind and control it on my own. Now, everybody's capable of doing that. They got to have some relief. But I have learned, because this happened many years ago, 1980 to be exact. So even at that time, I didn't like the pain meds because it affected my thinking, my thoughts. I didn't like that. So I just stopped using the pain meds back many years ago. I probably took them for a few months, and I just didn't like the results. Even though I got some relief, I just didn't like the way I felt when I took pain meds. So I got away from it. And that's a little information I like to pass along, about banking and Social Security Medical Part B. Fortunately, the money I've saved on Medical Part B has paid my medical expenses and my meds and so forth. So it worked out good for me. Now, that's not true for everybody, and I know that. And like I said, if you got serious medical problems, you might not want to come here. They do have good health care. But again, you're expected to pay up front in most cases. But anyway, folks, if you like the information and so forth, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I look forward to seeing you again. And thanks.